Hey, you guys. Hope you all had a great Christmas break. I'm sure you all had a big old Easter egg hunt, and I don't know, whatever you do on Easter, colored Easter eggs. You probably got all dressed up to go to church on your living room couch. I don't know. That's kind of some of the things we did anyway. Um, Hey, listen, I just wanted to kind of touch base and make sure you kind of understood today's activity because it's a little different. It's not just printing something off and following the video like we've done in the past. So here I am on the page where hopefully you guys are as well, because you've gone to this video. And the assignment for today, I want you to look at number 2. It says the assignment for today is basically we're going to kind of be reviewing 8.1 through 8.3, which is not what it says on the calendar. On the calendar, it says we're going to do 8.4, and then next class on Friday, we're supposed to be doing some review. So I'm just switching those 2 days, no big deal. So we're going to do some review today, and then on Friday we'll do the 8.4. And but I want you to see how this activity is going to work. So notice in bold print, underline. Make sure you keep all scratch work on the provided document or on your own paper. So you have 2 links here. One of them is for a Desmos activity, and the other one is for an outline for showing your work. So basically, there are several problems on this Desmos activity, and some of them require some work, some of them don't. Some of them require some work, and so anytime you do work, I want you to show that work and submit that as your assignment, even though I'll be able to see your progress on this on Desmos. But I just want to kind of show you here this outline for showing work. So again, you don't have to print this, but I want you to see that if you don't print it, that's fine. But when you're doing the problems, like the first problem you'll see on Desmos is this one right here. So when you're doing your work, if it's on your own paper, make sure you write down square root of 500 and then show your work. And when you get to the next problem, make sure you write down that problem and then show your work. So I'm just saying, if you want kind of a nice, neat, organized way to do it, that's what this document is. That's fine. If you don't do it, make sure you still keep it nice and neat and organized, and it doesn't look like scratch work all over the place when you submit it, right? Because I want to see your work. Okay, so something else I wanted to mention is when you go to this Desmos activity link, it's going to take you straight to the sign-in page, and it's got the code pasted in there for you. So don't delete that code. All right, the code is pasted in there, and mine says "Welcome back, Lori," because it recognized my email account. Hopefully, when you get to yours, it'll say "Welcome back," whoever. If it says my name, if it says Lori, then make sure you go down here where it says "Not Lori, sign out," and make sure you get signed back in as yourself. But remember, you need to write this code down because this is the join code basically for this particular activity. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to mention to you. Now, once you get started on this activity, and I'm sure you won't have any trouble. If you do, obviously let me know. Once you get started on this activity, then it's going to take you through several questions, but one of the pages it's going to take you to looks something like this. Okay, and let me show you the directions, because otherwise I can see where you would read these directions and be like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. It says, on the next screen, you will be given 12 different expressions. And just to kind of show you, so you have these kind of 12 different problems all over the place. All right, you're given 12 different expressions. Simplify each expression if necessary. Some of them can be simplified, some of them can't. So like, for example, 10. There's nothing you can do to that. But square root of 4, you can simplify that to be 2. Okay, now this first page is just for you to kind of get the idea of how this matching works. It's not because you really need to show any work from this on your document. So you don't need to, all of this particular slide can be done in your head. But I want to keep going through the directions. It says, simplify each expression if necessary. And then here's what I want you to see. Sort into 3 groups. Okay, so you're going to put all these into 3 groups such that each group has 4 equivalent expressions. Well, think about it, you guys. If there are 12 expressions total, and I tell you to put them into 3 groups, then that means you're going to have 4 in each group, right? So here's the idea. Here's what I'm thinking. All right, well, here I have the number 10. Well, I come over here to this one. Do you see that this one says square root of 100? So if you click on it, right, it'll grab it. And since I think these are equivalent, if I just put the square root of 100 on top of the 10, do you see now it's grouped them so that there are 2 expressions there, right? Or you might say, well, let's see, square root of 4 does not equal 10, so I don't want it to be in that group. I'll just put it up here by itself. But do you see this right here? I'm going to move the square root of x down here out of the way. Do you see that 2 is equivalent to the square root of 4, so I'll just lay it right on top, and it'll put those two in the same group. Okay, so let's see. Look here, 3 plus 7, what group does that go in? Well, surely that goes in the 10 as opposed to the 2, right? Ooh, what about this one? Cube root of 8, which group does that go in? Well, doesn't that equal 2? And so all of them in this group right here equal 2. Well, what if I come up here to x? Well, does x go in the 10 group or the 2 group? Well, x doesn't equal 10 or 2. I don't know what x equals, so I'm going to call it its own group. So what if I come up here to this one? What is 2x minus x? Well, doesn't that equal x? So I'll put that right here in this group with this one. So it's just like when you lay them on top of each other, they combine into a group. So I have 3 groups. One of them equals 10, one of them equals 2, and the other one equals x. So now I just need to put these in whichever one they're equal to. Let's go with this one, 10 over 5. Well, hopefully you guys are going to say, well, that goes in the group that equals 2. And notice how it says here it turned green. That means you've got all 4 of them in the right group. I'm just curious what would happen if I put one in the wrong group. Like let's say here I have 2 times 5. Well, I really think it goes in the 10 group, but I just want to see what will happen if I put it in the wrong one. Do you see that it turned red on me? So I need to take that 2 times 5 and put it back over here in the correct group. And there we go. And then let's see, square root of x squared I think is just x. And ooh, 1 over x to the negative 1. Well, if you move it to the top, wouldn't it be x to the positive 1? Which is just x. And so you see how they're all 3 green. So this one, it was super easy. I just wanted you to kind of see how the matching worked. And when you get to the next couple screens, you'll see the problems are not quite as easy. And so they might require some work on your paper in order for you to group them. I just kind of wanted to show that to you. All right, so I'm going to go back, and I want to mention one other thing. And that is, yes, make sure you submit your work on Canvas. So whatever work you write out, make sure I can, read it and you submit that on Canvas. But then number 4, just kind of a heads up, we will have a Unit 8 test coming up next Tuesday. No big deal, because what we just reviewed in this whole activity was a review of 3 of the parts, and then we're just going to do 1 more part in the next class. And then we'll have our test on next Tuesday, and I'll give you more information later on about that test. All right, hey you guys, I know this was just a short and sweet video. I just wanted to make sure everybody kind of understood how things work, and I will chat with y'all later.